Typography presents The Critique. For the purposes of this critique, we're going to examine this piece I did that's based on emotion. Of course, you should have a critique sheet that looks like this. Make sure it says Type Font Critique at the top. Please remember to write your name under Reviewer. You are reviewing the work. At no time should you write anyone else's name under Reviewer. You are reviewing the work. You can write your name on both sides under the Reviewer because this is your sheet of paper. However, on the front side, write down your name also as the artist, as you will be reviewing your artwork first. Unless explicitly told that you're reviewing somebody else's artwork, you're going to write your name down twice. The first prompt for this will be, the best part about this work is, there is so much to look at for this. Individual letters, different characters, even our logo. For this, I'm just going to focus in on one letter in particular, the S. Now I'm going to say the S because it's so funny. I found the S funny looking. It made me laugh. Please remember to use the word because. That's how we're scoring points. I cannot objectively score you on opinion, but I can score you for your reasoning. Your reasoning for this uses the word because. Tell me why. All right, our next prompt will be, I think a part that may need more work is, and we can approach this from many different directions, one of which is a fact. I think a part that could use more work is more color on the lowercase t because it has less than 3 colors. That is what I believe is a fact. You can always go back and check to make sure, did I use more than 3 colors or not? Go look. You know the facts of this work. Is it legible? Is it colored incorrectly? Go look and find a fact that is something that could be fixed about this picture. Of course, we can always offer an opinion instead. For example, I think a part that could use more work is, you should have used the same colors throughout because the letters would look like they go together. That's an opinion. Doesn't change how my work is. Doesn't mean it's bad or good. It's just my personal opinion. Remember, I can say whatever I want here so long as it's building up the person. Please don't forget there is always what we call the nothing answer. I think a part that could use more work is nothing because it is perfect. It looks perfect. It is perfect. There's nothing wrong here. You're allowed to have that opinion. But please remember that you still have to use the word because. I usually get about 1 student per critique, per project, throughout the whole school that decides to say something probably they shouldn't have. Please remember, it's an instant 0 if you say anything that is considered to not be building them up or just tearing them down. So if you say everything because it stinks and I could do better, you're going to get an instant 0. Hey, you always have time to fix it, but on this project in particular, I wouldn't waste my time doing that. I'd get it right the first time. Now on to our new prompts. For this one, we'll have, where would you expect to see this font? Where would you want to see this font somewhere in the world that's never been used before, but you would use it? For this one in particular, I'd say in the school counselor's office, because they deal with lots of different emotions. I want you to carefully consider what you made yours or what someone else made theirs and where you would like to see it. As for a movie poster for a certain type of movie, for a food restaurant, maybe as graffiti on the side of a place. I'd like to hear where you think you would see it. Tell me, where? All right, our last new prompt is, what would you name this font? Every font has a name. If you ever go to Microsoft Word or any other typing application, they always have a different name for the font. What would you name this font? I would name it Emotion or Emotional because of all the different emotions that are used. Yeah, sometimes people are just going to call it what it looks like. Other times people are going to have a shark theme and name it Squirrel. I don't know why. Make it make sense to me. Make it make sense to everyone else. How would we find the name of this font? What would you call it? Of course, I want you to check over the work, but when you're done, you can always turn it over. Oh my gosh, look at that. Same sheet of paper. This time, who's the reviewer? Should still be you. You are reviewing. That's how I know who to give the grade to. Now, this time, it should be somebody different. You should wait for the magic number. Don't just go walking around going, oh, Tommy's my best friend. I'm going to do Tommy. Please, I want everyone to get a review. Everybody should be read to. Everybody doesn't want to read, but everybody wants to be read to. It's just the way it works. People want to hear what you thought of their project. In between doing your project, doing the first or second side, before you turn it into me, before you ask me who's my next partner, check your work. Read it to someone else. Read it to yourself. Make sure you're waiting for that magic number. And also make sure you use the word because. There's so many people that just jump around and they haven't done that. They should know at this point we should be using the word because for every answer. Nothing new under the sun here. We're looking over at our critique rubric. Remember, you want that full 100 points, which means you have all 8 prompts answered with the word because, nothing that tears them down, and you just demonstrated proper knowledge of our words, including font, character, and other things like that. After that, if you start missing some, not using the word because, you obviously start dropping down in grades. And if you don't fill in prompts, 3 or more, or you say anything that does not build a student up, you're going to receive an instant 0 points. Please do your work. This is going to affect your grade. Please take this seriously, as your grade should be serious.